Siesta Sand Live.
Welcome to Siesta Sand Live. I'm your host, Natalie Gutwein, and I'm coming to you today from Captain Curt's on the beautiful island of Siesta Key. Today, for our podcast, we're going to start off with one of the biggest movers and shakers here on the island. We have Sarasota County Commissioner Mark Smith. I cannot wait to hear what he has to say. I'm sure he's going to have a lot of great information about what's going on around here with the cleanup and just everything on Siesta Key. So stay tuned. We've got a wonderful lineup of guests.
The next segment is brought to you by the Judy Berger team, part of Sotheby's International Realty. Whether a buyer or a seller, you'll be delighted with their service. And by Altez Vacations. It's the perfect place to go to find that perfect place to rent.
Good morning. I am here with Commissioner Mark Smith. We are so thankful that you are such a sponsor of the podcast and you're coming on and answering all kinds of questions for us. Why don't we start with the cleanup here on Siesta Key? Can you go into kind of what happened when I told the story initially where we didn't see trash trucks. And I was looking around and I'm texting the other board members of the Siesta Key Association saying, I'm here, I don't see any trucks. Can you kind of talk about what happened with that?
Well, we had an issue. We had contracted with a company to help us out. Sarasota County did, and it was a bid process. And we took the low bidder, being conscientious of our tax dollars. Between them coming here, they got a better offer. And so I believe it was like 17 of our trucks went to Manatee County.
Oh.
And so we as a board are going to need to revisit how we contract with folks. I've talked to some city commissioners, and they also experienced the same thing in the past and have changed the way they work the procurement with these contractors that come from really all over our region.
Oh, okay.
They're professional disaster
recovery.
Yeah, folks, and
Well, I can imagine with everything going on everywhere. I mean,
Right.
Helene went all the way up to North Carolina and everywhere. So I'm sure it was very easy for them to get a much better offer. And do you know how many trucks are here now?
no, but I do know. Actually, I have some notes here, but to date, we have picked up, or they have picked up, 1.1 million cubic yards of debris in Sarasota County, with 1 million of that actually being just vegetation, trees and shrubs. Even it's a major disaster. Now,
Right.
Sarasota County did make the priority that the barrier islands and Siesta Key in particular was a priority. And so it's working. I mean, we're getting
Yeah.
there, but there's a lot of it. And
Yeah, I appreciate being a priority because as somebody that lives out here, it was dangerous to drive. There was trash pileups everywhere. And
Yeah.
one of the things that surprised me was how long it actually takes. And they're not, these people working aren't just sitting around.
Right.
And I have a big window that overlooks Midnight Pass. And I watched these guys. It took them 3 hours. And they worked the entire time. And you see the big truck, and they've got the claw, and it picks it up. And it reminds me of that game,
That's right.
the claw game. And I watched them.
Yeah.
So it gave me a much better perspective of how long this is going to take.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a little while. But we're looking good out here.
I would like to encourage, and I've sent an email off to Pat Robinson, Deputy City Manager of the city. North part of Siesta Key is in the city,
Right.
and they don't seem to be as prioritized Siesta as the county has. And so
I actually noticed that yesterday, and I didn't put two and two together that it is the city.
Yeah.
That would make sense.
So,
yeah.
Pat, if you're listening, but the city, they have Lido, that they're dealing with, and St. Armand's and other things. I understand, but as the county portion of Siesta Key gets cleaned up, it's becoming more and more
Apparent.
that
Oh, yeah.
we have an issue in the north end, and I've gotten several emails from folks up there.
Well, I did yesterday. I was driving over, and I looked around, and I thought, why does this look different than everything else? Well, I
we
totally
go.
forgot that, that little section is city.
Yeah.
But the rest of the island, it wasn't, when like I said, I was driving around after Helene, Milton's coming, the governor's on TV saying, I'm telling him to get everything off these islands, and I'm looking around going, there's nobody here.
Right.
That's changed.
Right.
And I know you were instrumental in that. Can you talk a little bit about what you did with Mike Holderness, talking and getting
Well,
people here to clean it up?
I can. Well, I did my part. As a county commissioner, I only have two employees: the county administrator and the county attorney. So I talked to the county administrator and Brian Usher, who's the director of solid waste. But they understood that they had to get the island cleaned up because we have the Siesta Key Crystal Classic. And we needed to make sure that the beaches, all the beaches, but especially Siesta Beach, was clear and ready to go, just so we could show Sarasota and the world that Siesta Key is open. And so they understand. I mean, there's a lot of tax dollars that get generated from Siesta Key. So anyway, it's a process.
Right.
And it's taken a while. We haven't gotten hit with a major hurricane directly like this since 1960, I think, with Donna. And we, got hit with a couple. And so we're getting there. Recovery takes a while.
Right.
So.
Well, thank you for everything you've done with that. It really did make a difference when I saw you guys step in, and then all of a sudden things started getting cleaned up around here.
Well, the contractor showed up.
We finally got the right people.
They showed up. And so, and we're thankful for Benderson for letting the county use the Siesta Promenade site.
Yeah, for those of you who are not here on Siesta and you're watching, if you go to the corner of Stickney Point and 41, it is an enormous mound of debris.
Sure.
I look at that as progress to me.
Well, it is on Siesta Key, in that neighborhood, not so much.
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
Right, I forget you're not just Siesta Key.
No,
You have
it's
the rest of the county to think about, too.
But that little corner happens to not be in my district, for oddly enough. But it is my neighborhood because we leave Siesta Key, we go right through it. But it was a wonderful staging area, and there were some developers down south that also let the county use their properties to clean off Minnesota Key and parts down there. So it was a community effort, and we needed that staging area because otherwise they'd have to go all the way to the landfill and back.
Right. I think it's made an incredible difference in the speed of
getting us cleaned up.
Yes. So there was an election
Yes,
recently, and everybody talks about the national election, but we had a local election here. Tom Knight got elected as a county commissioner. Can you talk a little bit about how you see that affecting things going forward with the county commission?
Well, also Teresa Mast.
Right.
Got elected.
Sorry.
Well, anyway, no, she had an easier path. But Tom was a friend of mine, Commissioner Knight, almost. It will be.
Right. Former sheriff.
Former sheriff. He got a lot of support from Siesta Key, and he's very community focused. All his years, 12 years being sheriff, did a great job. And so I'm optimistic for Siesta Key.
How do you think this, will all the hotels. That's
Right.
what everybody wants to know. My understanding, and correct me if I'm wrong, any changes to the comprehensive plan needs a supermajority.
Yes.
Is that correct?
Yeah, it needs
So
4
that-
votes.
4 votes.
Right.
And with you and Tom, of course, he hasn't voted anything yet,
Right.
but we think that could keep some of these mega hotels from happening, hopefully.
It appears that way, until the vote happens.
Right.
But nothing's come forward. The hotel developers have been silent. At least they haven't come before the county commission, and I haven't had any contact with them. But what I have stated in the past is that if we don't need mega hotels. Boutique hotels would be helpful, I think, on the Key. It would give folks a alternative
Right.
who wanted to stay out here just for a night or a weekend, and it would take maybe steal some of the market away from folks renting their single-family homes, and maybe these hotel houses wouldn't be as
Well, we
desirable.
don't have that much. If somebody's just coming into town,
Right.
and I deal with this all the time with our clients,
Right.
they come into town and they ask me, where do I stay?
right.
And, if Mike's hotel is busy, then there aren't a lot of choices for overnight,
no.
single night stays.
I think maybe the Hyatt across the street here might be, but no, there aren't any options. And we believe, we being the Siesta Key Chamber of Commerce, which I've been involved with for a long time, we believe that boutique hotels that would be in the 50 to 60, no more than 75 rooms, depending on the property you have available, would actually help out local businesses, restaurants, retail, the visitor businesses such as jet skis and
Right.
boat rentals and things like that. And it would be in scale with Siesta Key.
Right.
And they wouldn't be any taller than what's allowed with condominiums around them. And so we believe that would be a good addition to Siesta Key.
Right.
And I believe if that is all that's allowed, then the folks that develop these properties would end up getting a higher rate per room,
Right.
and they'll make money.
Supply and demand.
It is.
Supply and demand
and
always wins out. I
That's
don't care
right.
who tries to
So
fight
if
it or
you-
how.
And we would be limiting the supply.
Right.
Because you wouldn't be able to build a 170-room hotel, but you could build a 50 to 60 room. And so, do the math and figure out what it is. But I believe because of Siesta Key is what Siesta Key is, the rooms will fill up.
I think you're right. Is there anything coming up at the next commission meeting that you think would affect Siesta Key directly?
Actually, no.
Kind of quiet for right now.
Well, we've got
We've got plenty going on. So.
Oh yeah, no. I mean, what's on our plate is more to do with development out east.
Okay. Have
it's
you heard
coming up.
anything about the repaving? I know there was a big repaving effort, and then that was put on hold.
Yes, it has been put on hold, and most likely it's going to be picking up after the first of the year.
Okay.
We really do have to finish getting all the debris off the side of the streets there. And
Right.
we have 90 days from the middle of October. And that's from the governor's office and FEMA. So that's going to take us.
Take some time, right? You got to get all that off the roads before you can repave anything.
Yes, and the amount of trucks that are rolling over, it'd be good to wait and see how much damage they do
Right.
before you repair it.
Kind of reminds me of when I lived up north, and the snow comes in, and you end up with potholes.
Right.
Down here, we get it from hurricanes and the water that rushes through and washes the streets out. And so it's a great time to repave.
It is. It definitely needs it, and it'll happen.
Well, Commissioner, thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. There's so many hot button issues coming
Sure.
up here on Siesta Key, and we hope that you'll join us again.
Oh, I'd be happy to.
Wonderful. Thank you very much.
Okay, bye now.
The following segment is brought to you by Beach Bazaar, located in the heart of Siesta Village. Everything for the beach, and we do mean everything. And by FAM Development, the area's best in custom-built homes. Start living your dream on and around Siesta Key.
Hi, welcome back. Well, we've heard all the stories of the hurricane and everything that people went through. I live here on the island, but my house is elevated. Thank God. It's something that I just took for granted for a long time, and then we got water on the island. So we're here with Tracy Jackson and Jennifer Rogers. They've got an incredible story of community that we just had to share here on the podcast. So who wants to start and tell how it happened?
I can start since it was my place.
Go ahead. Yeah.
All right. So I was up visiting my parents in Illinois when Helene came through, and I had been checking in with neighbors, and I knew my house had taken on water. Jen and I met probably 3 months prior to Helene, maybe a little bit longer than that. It was an immediate friendship. It was just like, she's my soul sister. I love her. And she reached out to me and asked me if I needed some help. And I knew that I did. I don't usually take help like that, all the time. She took it upon herself to encourage and inspire a bunch of people to come. I feel like that's where I should hand it to you, Jen.
So kind of what happened was I friend request a lot of people on Facebook, and so I knew that she needed help. And the worst thing about when you're like, "Hey, can y'all help me?" People are always like, "Oh yeah," and then no one ever really shows up.
Right. You
so
kind of feel guilty asking for help.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so what I did was I literally just created a reel on Facebook and said, "Hey, I got somebody out here today that needs help. If anyone can join, please just show up. This is the address." So I'm putting this on social media, somebody's actual address, which is, something you usually do.
Right.
not do.
Normally that's frowned upon.
Yeah. We don't want to tell people this. So I think about 15 people showed up. And we thought what was going to be just, a cleanup, pulling out some wood floors, turned into, we had knocked out half the drywall, was just.
Wow, this was day one. So this is
day two.
one.
Or day-
Actually, that was day two.
Day two, yes.
Day
Okay,
one.
So hurricane happens, and
And
you
day
see-
one, I think she posted something
I
not a
posted
reel.
if anyone could go
Yeah.
out. I was not able to go out at that time. I was doing hair, and I had said, if anyone can show up at this house, do that. So it was all the cleanup on that day.
Yep, and she starts sending my address, and literally when I pulled in the driveway to see my house for the first time, I get a little emotional about this. There was a couple there that pulled in at the same time as us, and they got out of the car and they said, "Hey, Jen sent us," and the wife says, "Jesus sent us too," which I thought was so cute. And so they were there with me at the initial onset. That's how it all started. Like that was the beginning. I think 10 people showed up that day.
Wow.
A bunch of women in, beautiful Lululemon outfits with manicures. They're like slopping through this wet water, giving me little inspirations as we're going through. There were moments where you can't even be sad because the gratitude that you feel is so great. And that's what Jen brought. And the next day there was 15 people.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it wasn't, I didn't even know half these people. You just be your friends on people at Facebook and that you haven't met yet.
Right.
And so, that was able to make that happen. And that was, Tracy's house was just the start of that. So
can you talk a little bit more about kind of the movement that you created to help clean up not only here on Siesta Key, but throughout Sarasota County?
Well, I'm not shy, so I have that going for me, being a hairstylist. But so The next person that reached out messaged and said, "Hey, I've got a 95-year-old woman on Longboat Key that, they need help." And I was like, "All right, I'll see what I can do." And it was literally just a video saying, "Hey, y'all want to work out? Bodies by Jen here over on Longboat Key. It's like a gym for, the whole week. I got you covered."
Right.
It's,
Yeah.
everybody's
It's a
gonna get
workout.
strong.
Right.
It's a
Everything is
workout.
wet and it's.
Yeah,
It
so.
is not. I think one of the things I realize is that it's ugly. It's the worst
Stinks.
smell. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is that creates that smell. But you'll never forget it after you've been through it.
I still smell it all the time. Like it's almost like chemotherapy. It never goes away. You can,
Right,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like that mold. So this little lady, it was just a little house on Longboat. I mean, she's just trying to go through her photos, and I mean, the nightstand is just filled with, everything soaked in her photos and her memories, and and she's just trying to go through and get like anything.
Right.
Everything's ruined.
Yeah.
So it's, taking everything outside, pulling out carpet that's just really heavy. And then I drive over to, I hear Cortez Trailer Park is, destroyed over in Bradenton area before you go over the bridge to Anna Maria, because couldn't get to Anna Maria because they had that blocked off. And then I just drove around and I was like asking who needed help, and ended up finding the community center in, it's called Shores. Gulf Shores. And so a lady there, I pulled up and I said, what is needed? And she was like, dehumidifiers, fans. People don't even have air beds to sleep on. And so I just reached out to the community and asked, hey, if y'all want to trust me with this, you can. I was like, this is my Venmo. This is what's needed. And we raised like $3,300 and got all these, so much equipment that was needed that these people are sleeping on airbeds because they don't have mattresses.
Right.
And they
You
can't
have
afford
nothing. When a
Nothing.
flood comes in, I've gotten choked up a lot too, because I walked into somebody's house the other day. It's not even my house, and I'm in tears because everything is wet. If your house was on ground level and the water came in, your socks are gone, your shoes are gone, your toothbrush. It's all the little things that are gone. So to have somebody come along and just bring a toothbrush, a toaster, a bed, I'm sure it made a huge difference in their recovery.
It wasn't, you think, okay, the people on these islands, they've got money, that's why they live there. And not everyone does.
Right.
Not every house is ginormous, and a lot of people had bought these houses before the market, just
Right.
skyrocketed. So, when you're dealing with these little trailer parks and these people are just in these retirement communities, they don't have the money like that to just
Right.
go and, okay, we're going to stay now in a $300 a night hotel. So there's nowhere to sleep. There's nowhere to go unless you've got friends and family near and things like that. So I just put myself in that position, and I was like, I would want help. I
Right,
hate
right.
asking for help. I like
you need
helping.
a lot of hands. Yeah, you
Yeah.
need a lot of people. I was amazed. Like I said, my house is elevated, but I had some storage and stuff at the bottom. There were 6 people that showed up at my house, and friends and family, and it took all of that for a house that didn't flood. So like yours, that's on ground level. I can't.
And I
imagine.
still have people showing up to help. Chris Otto, who's a local musician, came by the other day and helped me take out my kitchen cabinets and helped me clean up my yard and power wash the back of my house. And Christina Pope came and helped me get all the things out of my cabinets, spent the whole day with me. I've just been very, very fortunate through this. And this community is amazing, and Jennifer is amazing. And I think there's so many more people that want to help and want to do good in this community
Right.
than a lot of people realize. So I'm so happy that we're celebrating Jen today and all the people out there that help.
I think a lot of that is, we depend on sometimes the government to step in, and it was like, where are you?
Right.
You know?
Well, you're right. The government isn't going to be there the day of, the day after. They're not
No.
going to be the one that helping you
And
pull
that's the
the
most
stuff
crucial
out.
times,
Right.
is getting that out before the mold gets in there. And I saw so much community, not just what I did, but I mean, people are driving around with food and offering meals. And I mean, I did that for Cortez, and people are just, going to their neighbors' houses and helping. And I have never seen anything like that. I mean, I
Right.
lived in Oklahoma where there's tornadoes, so we kind of go out in areas and do that. But that's why I love living here.
So we'd like to thank you for what you did. So can you tell who you are, what you actually do for a living? How can people support you?
I'm actually really busy. I've been a hairstylist here for a year and a half, and now it's called Sarasota Hair Queen Salon, and I'm just in downtown Sarasota, and I've been doing hair 33 years. So I was an educator, and I thought, instead of traveling, I would rather just move to Florida, and I built a business really, really quickly. I've been very blessed here, very blessed with a lot of friends very quickly. It was like I was meant to be here.
Right.
So,
I think a lot of people feel that way about this place. I do.
Yes, I do.
I'm a transplant also. Trace a transplant. Most of us are.
Yes.
But I do feel like Siesta Key, Sarasota just has a calling. And the people that are here, I wasn't surprised to see the people that stepped up and just, I'm here, I'm in my boots, or in my Lululemon, whatever it is,
Yes.
getting disgusting.
I broke every nail. It's like we're starting over. Fine,
She downplayed her stylist a little bit. She's a master colorist. Her hair color is so amazing.
She is, actually. I checked out your Instagram last night. I was stalking her on Instagram. And you do a great job.
Thank you. I did a lot
So
of
that's
education.
Sarasota Hair Queen, right?
SarasotaHairQueen.com. Yes.
Great. Wonderful. So, Tracy, you are involved in some other things around here on Siesta Key.
I am. I've got a couple different things I'm doing. I help people. Well, my main business right now, since I lost a lot of my supplies for my former business, is POS processing. It started as a nonprofit. And we don't do contracts, so we can help small businesses. That's really where our focus is small businesses and nonprofits save money on their processing fees. And then I also have Siesta Key Pop-Up Proposal, where I do really elaborate setups with for marriage proposals. And
That's a great
it's
idea.
so
That
cute.
is so popular now.
It's really cool, and I do some really unique things. I have hidden cameras and drones flying over, and so they're
wow.
completely unaware. And the setup is really tweaked for the person getting proposed to. So favorite flower, favorite drink, color scheme, if they're boho or if they're vintage. I really, really personalize it, and it really makes the guy shine because it looks like he's paying attention.
He looks like a rock star, and it's all you. And
100% yes so far.
so how does somebody find you?
On siestakeypopupproposal.com, and then I also have a Facebook page. I have Instagram. I just haven't mastered the Instagram
Right, they're
business
totally
yet.
different animals. Yeah, I know. Right. So what about you? Also work. You are now the president, correct?
Yes, the president of the Save Siesta Key organization. I assume that's where you're going.
Right, and so for people that don't know, that's the organization that has tried to incorporate Siesta Key.
Correct. And we're in a little bit of a lull right now. We had a meeting last week. We're going to be putting an announcement out very soon about what's happening with the Save Siesta Key organization. But it's been a passion of mine. I would have loved to incorporate before the storm. I think things might have been different.
Right.
I think the building that we're going to see coming after the storm is disheartening, but we'll just have to roll with the changes, right?
Right. Well, I know Fiona McFarland got reelected.
Thank goodness for that.
Right. And she was the sponsor of the bill, correct?
Correct. Yep.
Have you spoken with her yet about next efforts?
With what's happening in Tallahassee right now, we don't see a path. One of the biggest people who was against us is going to be in a real leadership position. So we do not see us presenting another bill this year. So
how much longer is he in office? A couple more years?
His father's a senator, so we're anticipating he will probably go the same route. So.
All right. Well, keep us updated.
I will do. Thanks for bringing that up.
Absolutely. Well, ladies, thank you both. We
Thank you for
really
having me.
Oh, you're welcome. We really appreciate everybody
Thank you for
helping
sharing.
us out.
She makes me embarrassed. So I was like, oh.
She was so self-conscious about, like, she said, I didn't do this for recognition. I'm like, but people need to know that, you
Right.
know, that there are people like you in this community. And
Well, there's a lot of devastation and a lot of heartbreak right now, and so we wanted to bring you on as a thank God. You know, there is sunshine in these moments.
That's true.
you
There's
were
a lot of
definitely
people out
my
there
thank
helping.
God. You were definitely my thank God. No doubt about it.
Well, thank you both
you.
for coming out here.
Thank you
and
for
we
having me.
really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks for having us.
You're welcome.
The final segment is brought to you by the law offices of Eric Fleming, specializing in real estate closings. Mr. Fleming is also the current president of the Siesta Key Chamber of Commerce. And by Gilligan's Island Bar and Grill. Experience the heartbeat of the Siesta Village's dining and social scene.
Welcome back. So we are here at Captain Curt's. Captain Curt's is our main sponsor of the podcast. They have been wonderful to work with. They've had some challenges, you know, a couple hurricanes came through, kind of changed up our trajectory of when we were going to start the podcast, so we've moved it back. But I am here with DJ Dallas, MC Dallas, Master of Ceremonies. You are the main guy here at Captain Curt's.
That is correct. I've been here for just a little while doing this, and I love it. It's just a lot of fun, and you know, just to be able to go out there and get the events going and people having a great time, and that's what it's all about. And the stewards let me, you know, they facilitate it here. They love the entertainment and they love music, and it's just a lot of fun. So.
Well, it's a huge campus. I mean, they've added so many different pieces. You've got the Tiki Lounge, which eventually we will be broadcasting from over there.
Correct.
And we'll have a live audience if people want to show up at 9 o'clock in the morning. We're happy to have them here in a couple of weeks. But you're the karaoke guy too, right?
I am the karaoke guy. That's right. I'm the entertainment director here at Captain Curt's, and just many years of being here and just continuously piecing together our entertainment as we've been going along, and it's just been a lot of fun, as I said, and that's what we really enjoy here, and with the hurricanes and everything and bringing everything back, it's a new excitement that's happening.
Right.
That's for sure, and a new camaraderie between us.
Oh, really? So can you talk a little bit about what it was like when did you first get back here to see the place?
It was basically two days, I believe,
After
after Helene. Yeah, 2 days after Helene, and it was a disaster. Absolutely, it's 3-4 foot of water all the way through everywhere, and
You've got beautiful new floors in here.
beautiful.
The place looks great. So when people are talking about whether or not they should come to Siesta Key now, absolutely.
Absolutely, everyone's putting 150%, and that's the real night and day, 24/7 here, and I know a lot of other places on the Key.
Right.
Everyone's working to get it back, and yes, they want people to come back, and Siesta Key is beautiful, and it'll always be beautiful, and will be beautiful again. That's for sure. And
We're ready to go.
We're ready to go. We want to bring them back.
You talked a little bit about the camaraderie around here.
Mm-hmm.
How's the hurricane brought you closer together?
With the bartenders and the servers and the kitchen staff and everyone here, they just jumped right in. I mean, anything and everything, they were here, morning,
That was my
night.
understanding from the stewards was that they've utilized the employees that they had. They wanted to keep everybody employed, do everything they could to give people jobs and keep them busy. Bartenders became carpenters.
Oh yeah. If you knew, you step up and you were like, I can do that, and everyone did that. Everyone here stepped up, and it's been incredible. You couldn't have done it without the bartenders, servers. I mean, that's the backbone. The kitchen, all those guys. For, like you said, how big this place is.
Right. There's the Tiki Lounge. What do you call this area?
This is the backroom saloon.
Oh, right. The backroom saloon. That's where we're broadcasting live from, the backroom saloon.
Backroom. This is where it all started, where karaoke started. Right here, it was in the backroom saloon. So that's one of our big claim to fame, besides the clam chowder.
Right. Can you talk to us about Crab TV? What is Crab TV?
Crab TV was a concept that we brought, the Stewarts brought, for, at first, because we're an Ohio State alumni right here, so we
I
have
won't hold that against you.
we have the Ohio State games here, and it's a big thing, and it's been going for almost 25 years here, and so that was bringing on and going. Let's start something, and let's bring a production to it, and from that it's kind of spawned. And
Right. Here, Saturday afternoons, for people that don't know, it's packed wall-to-wall Ohio State fans.
packed.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Absolutely.
don't wear my IU gear here on Saturdays, for sure.
Yeah, I don't tell.
Yeah. Yeah, you can't say stuff like that. But no, but it's a great place to come watch games. So where is the karaoke now, and what days?
Right now, the karaoke is back here in the back room Saturday nights, 9:30 to 12:30, and then we should be starting here in the next week or so, and we'll be back over at the Sneaky Tiki on the main stage, and that's Tuesday and Thursday nights, 6 to 10 o'clock. And so we're doing 3 nights a week where we've got a little bit of an earlier one with the outside at the Tiki, and then we bring it back a little late night here in the back room saloon where it all started. So it gets
There's a lot going on.
There's
right?
a lot going on, and then we've got other entertainment as well. You've got solo guys and duos and bands, and we've got anything from trop rock to reggae to rock, southern rock,
A little bit of
funk.
everything.
Yeah, dance, pop, everything to get, on a Friday, Saturday night to get people going, and then on a chill Tuesday to get people just
Yeah, chill mood.
right, and get them ready for the evening, or just hang out by the beach and then come over here and be able to just
Relax.
Absolutely.
One of the things I've always loved about Captain Curt's is it doesn't matter if you show up in like a bikini cover-up or you're just got out of a wedding.
Full talk. It doesn't.
Right,
Absolutely.
whatever.
Seen it all.
Right, you can fit in around here. This is a great place if you've got big families or big groups of people.
Mm-hmm.
The clam chowder, of course, is amazing.
Clam chowder, and I was never a big fan of clam chowder, seafood, and chowder, and that. Here, absolutely, and I tell everybody.
Right.
So
yeah,
I do enjoy it. I do enjoy the clam chowder. Is incredible. So yes.
So going forward, what's your entertainment going to look like during season?
During season, what we usually we've had is 7 days a week out there at the Sneaky Tiki. We'll have the daytime, and we'll have a nighttime. And the weekends is when we have the bands come out, really, on a Friday, Saturday, and a Sunday. And like I said, we'll have anything. We'll have a little bit of Latin,
A little
rock,
bit of everything.
a little everything out there to get people, on a nighttime, out there dancing and out there about the vibe. It's about bringing that vibe and the feel good. And when you're coming through and you go, that's the place I want to be. And
Right. When you're walking by, you're gonna feel the vibe.
You
from
feel the
street.
vibe.
Yeah. If you're
Right.
driving by, walking by, you're gonna hear it. You're gonna see it.
Yep, absolutely. And so that's what we bring out there, and we're probably going to bring a little bit. We might have a couple events throughout the year that we're going to work on, as along with just the 7 days a week music, and bringing just local and national some people in here. But we kind of want to have a little bit of everything. But we're a tiki bar, so we're going to have that tiki.
Right. Yeah.
We're going to have that tiki
Right.
feel, but we'll make sure that we give you a little bit more. So, that's what we've got going on over there. And then, of course, the entertainment back here on Saturday nights is just karaoke right here in the back room.
Back here at the back room.
Back room.
Saloon.
Yeah, back room saloon Saturday nights. We're going to keep it going, and that's been going for 26 years now, karaoke right here. So
Wow.
we want to just keep it going back here and keep building it back up to the new back room karaoke, because it's a different time. And
Right. Well, and everything is new.
Everything is new.
That's one of the good things that comes out of a hurricane is after it's all said and done, it's all nice and new, and you've got new floors, and everything looks great out here. You'll be open everywhere.
We will be open everywhere. That's correct. We'll have we got the coffee shop, gift shop will be open, and it's open right now 8 to 3, I believe. But we'll get back to our regular hours, which I believe are 8 to 9.
Oh, okay.
And so we'll have all that open and more online for everyone to be able to get any kind of merchandise. Get the retail kits for the clam chowder. You can get right off of online, no matter where you're at. So of course, and yeah, we just want to bring that vibe and of course karaoke is a part of it. People like to be a part,
Right.
and get in here and get up on stage and
I'll have to come check out karaoke.
Get loose.
As long as there are no videos of it.
You never know. I mean, there might be something end up floating up out there, but
Right.
for sure.
Well, Dallas, thank you for coming on, talking about what's going on out here, and we look forward to bringing you back and keeping us updated on what's going on here at Captain Curt.
Thank you so much, Natalie, for having me here today, and I appreciate that. And yes, we'll try to keep you guys updated as much as we can, and I think from now on, yeah, it'll be a lot easier to
Right.
know, what our actual update is, because we're getting ahead of it, so it feels good. So thank you, Natalie, appreciate that.
You're welcome.
All right.
And by the Captain Curt's Village. Great drinks, great music, great food, especially the world-famous clam chowder. Stop on by.
Thank you for tuning in to another great episode of Siesta Sand Live. I really want to say thank you to Commissioner Mark Smith. Got a lot of good information. Excited to see what happens with Tom Knight being elected to the County Commission. Also want to say a special thanks to our host sponsor, Captain Curt. They have been wonderful. They really have had a rough time getting this place put back together, but they're working hard. They come get a daiquiri, kind of sing karaoke, live music. They have it all going on now. Well, thank you very much. Next week, we're going to have Bob and Catherine Luckner. They are president and vice president of the Siesta Key Association. I really look forward to what they have to say. Thanks again for joining us. Stay sunny, Siesta.